How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a different kind of video than my normal product photography. I'm going to be talking about some of the things that I've learned over these past couple of years while doing street photography on the weekends. In this video, I'm really excited to share with you a little bit of my street photography and why I believe that street photography is one of the best forms of photography to start out with, especially if you're a beginner photographer. We're going to be going and doing some POV shooting that I took with the DJI Action Camera 2, and I mounted the DJI to the top of my R5 camera with the small rig cage. This is the first time that I've ever done this kind of video, so I have to admit that I haven't really found my voice yet. So you won't hear me talk through the actual DJI Action camera, which has a wonderful mic actually, but I'm going to be doing some voiceover and I'm going to be talking through some of the images that I've taken, and I hope that it resonates with some of you, and I hope that you can gain some value. If you haven't already, please consider hitting the subscribe button or hitting that thumbs up. It really helps out the video and it helps out the channel. I really appreciate all of your guys' time. Street photography helps you see the world in a different way. As a street photographer, you'll constantly be on the lookout for interesting subjects, compositions, and moments to capture. This process of observation and discovery can help you see the world in a different way and appreciate the beauty in everyday life. The camera that I use for this shoot is the Canon RF, and I paired it with the 70-200 F2.8. This lens is one of my favorite street photography lenses. It has incredible reach. So as I'm looking through the fence here, I can see that there's some people over at the distance in a dog park here in the city of Philadelphia. It's an overcast day, so we're going to get some nice diffused lighting for all of the shots that you're going to see today. Walking through here, you can see, you know, the DJI does a nice job, but you can't really see up close like what the human eye can see. But what I noticed is a woman in the distance holding a dog, and I thought it was a great moment to take a photo. Seeing people's reactions and seeing people's expressions and faces are one of the things that I like about street photography. You have no idea what these people's stories may be or what they may be going through throughout the day, but it's one of my favorite things. Here I see a woman sitting on a bench with a nice, the fence could be some nice foreground, and I see her looking at her phone. Working with things like composition is important, but this is where the lessons come in with street photography, is that you get to be creative and you get to practice different compositions that you may not expect. So working on these things and being able to anticipate things is incredibly important, but that's the beauty of street photography. The spontaneity of it is incredible. Street photography encourages creativity and experimentation. Because street photography is often spontaneous and unplanned, it allows for a lot of creative freedom. You'll have to think on your feet and try out different compositions, perspectives, and techniques to get the shot that you want. This type of experimentation can help you grow as a photographer and discover new ways of expressing yourself through your work. So I see the people with the dog here over to my right, and I'm going to take the opportunity to see if I can sneak in a shot. You know, not all photos are going to be winners, but even seeing the expressions of the dog and how they interact with their owners is kind of neat. And shooting them through the fence adds a little bit of foreground blur and a little bit of framing. And one thing to keep in mind while you're doing street photography is to look around, look up, look down. There are some great details on buildings, some great lines. Like look at these two little stone figurine gargoyles here on this building, kind of neat. Shooting through fences, shooting through subjects is a great way to gain some foreground and some background and foreground blur. Man, I am really impressed with the smoothness of this video. I was bouncing around. You can see the lens moving around, but the DJI is rock steady. Getting up against the wall here to see if I can get some leading lines into an interesting subject. You know, there's going to be a lot of times where things aren't going to work out. We often, you know, get criticized, or people criticize street photography as not being the most interesting form of photography, but I would wholeheartedly disagree with that sentiment, because you know, backs of people's heads may not be incredibly interesting, but you never know what you're going to capture, and people's candid moments and people's facial expressions are just, it's just super, you know, you just never know. Art is subjective, so here at the distance I get to see some people, a woman with some interesting hair color, beautiful hair color actually, with some great expression, and she just looks really good. The color of her hair is really nice. The 70-200 really provides some really cool, some really awesome reach, where you're not intrusive, which is one of the reasons why I got the 70-200, because when I was first starting out with street photography, I was incredibly shy, and I didn't want to be intrusive. I didn't want to get in people's faces with like a 35mm lens or a 50mm lens. But getting the 70-200 really allows you to not be up in people's faces and be a little bit more discreet. Looking down this alleyway, I was able to see some subjects all the way at 200, but I wasn't able to really get anything in focus here, which is okay. You know, the thing with street photography is, in addition to all the other things that I've mentioned, is that you get to practice. You get to really learn your gear. You get to learn the settings. I primarily shoot in AV because I find it easier, but I've shot once in manual and none of the photos turned out. But that's okay, because now I know that in a pinch, or in a studio setting, I definitely need to learn more about the manual settings of my camera. Here I see a woman kneeling down or sitting down on the side of the ground. I try my best not to shoot people that are begging or people that are homeless, because there's a little bit of ethics that goes behind that thinking. Is I don't want to show people that aren't in their best light. I like the way that this light is coming in from down the road and hitting a lot of subjects, creating some harsh lighting. This is an interesting sign here with the in front of the statue. The yellow is really juxtaposed against the statue and the structures in the back. The amount of subjects that you get while you're doing street photography truly is endless. It's you're never gonna not find a subject or something to shoot, to photograph. Street photography helps you connect with people around you. One of the most rewarding aspects of street photography is the opportunity to connect with people from all walks of life. As you photograph strangers in public places, you'll have a chance to learn about their stories, experiences, and perspectives. This can be a powerful way to build empathy and understanding between people. It's really important to consider sitting down or taking a break because things develop over time. So if you hang out in one corner for a little while or hang around a park, you may be surprised to find out the kind of things that develop. Here is, I believe this is Independence Hall. And there's a massive pole that's right in the center, or off to the right of the photo, but that's okay. You know, I personally like to shoot street photography as symmetrical as possible. I don't like to shoot anything with a Dutch angle. It's just a preference. And at the distance, here's a dog with its trainer or its owner, and it's just a cool moment. I decided to shoot it in black and white because why not? You know, this is the whole thing about photography, is that it's very experimental and you get to try different things. And here's that photo again so you can see it. I walked across the street and saw some horse and carriage, and I thought this white horse was kind of interesting and in a cool color. Horses are pretty cool. Street photography is a great way to document a moment in time in your own life. Street photography has the ability to capture and document the people, places, and events of a specific time and place. By taking photographs of everyday life and the things that you see, you can create a visual record of a moment in time in your own life. Street photography is a rewarding and challenging form of photography that can help you see the world in a different way, encourage creativity and experimentation. It connects you with the people around you, and it's a great way to document a moment in time in your own life. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, there's something for everyone to love about street photography.